These modern Hemi muscle cars are great rides right from the factory, but even better project cars. They come with a ton of horsepower, but with all the aftermarket support, it's easy to take them to another level. Today we're at Livernois Motorsports. We're going to check out the Camshaft Hrt Valvetrain Assemblies. We're going to do a full install right here on this Dodge Challenger, get it up on a dyno and start making pulls. The first thing we're going to do is get ourselves a baseline so we know what we're comparing to, see what it's all worth in the end. So follow along, it's going to be a fun time today. All right guys, we got the Challenger up on the dyno, ready to do some pulls. Dan Millen, president here at Livernois Motorsports. You guys have done everything mild to wild on every hot ride that's out there. What do these guys typically make stock?
So this thing being a 392, it's a great platform to start with. I would expect this thing would be in the 420 to 430, 435 range. It's typically what we see on these cars, depending on the miles and what's done doing. But stock, that should be a good baseline. Sounds
pretty typical. Let's do a pull. Let's get it, kind of mapped out. We'll go do some mods and see where we end up. Yeah, you were spot on, man. So you guys did the stock one originally before the cold air, and now you're pulling out what?
We're 15 to 20, which is pretty typical for a car like this, and this one's no different. That's typical results we see.
Pretty solid, 430 plus coming out of the showroom to the tire. A little bit extra for the cold air and tune. Now we're going to go check out the cam and Valvetrain bits, do a little overview, get them installed, back on dyno, see what we get. Colin here is going to finish getting our engine prepped and ready for our camshaft and Valvetrain install. Now again, they prefer to drop it out. It makes it easier for us as the viewers to see what's going on, and to them it's just about as fast as leaving it in the vehicle, which is something that we would probably do doing it ourselves. All right, I'm going to walk us through the package that we chose and some of the other offerings in the HRT lineup. Comp offers 3 different stages or performance levels for the 5.7 and the 6.4 liter Hemi powertrains. Talking with Comp, we've got a few bolt-ons, so Stage-2 was a great mix, give us peak performance and not sacrifice drivability. Now the Hrt Assemblies, they come with brand new conical or beehive springs, new push rods, upgraded retainers, and an optional cam phaser limiter. Now depending on the kit, which option you pick, you get a set of lifters as well. Now it's great that they put it all together, it eliminates all the headaches, you know everything's going to match, and it makes the assembly and the job nice and easy. All right, Colin's got a lot of the outside parts already stripped off, so we can kind of get to the inside. So everything from the chain case, the water pump, the cam covers are off, and as you can see right now, he's got the rocker shafts off, and he's starting to replace some of these springs. Now, you're going to have to pull the heads to get to the lifters. Same with us. But either way, you can do the springs on the engine or on the tabletop, whichever is easier for you. It's a great little accessory you can get from Comp Cams. All right, the camshaft fully lubed up with assembly grease. Slowly stab that thing in there without scratching any of the cam bearings. All right, he's driving it home, and you can see he's using a bolt on the end. You can use a handle or any kind of assembly tool to give you a little bit of extra leverage, so you make it go in there nice and clean. Yeah, installing the camshaft is actually pretty simple. Just got to be careful, take it slow. All right, the cam phaser sits on the front of the cam. It's probably one of the most amazing technologies in the last 15, 20 years. Now how it works is it bolts on the front of the cam, and it can phase the cam advanced or retarded relative to the crank on the fly to give you a performance feel from a big cam and a smaller cam in the same package. Now it's oil fed, so oil feeds on either one side of the vane or the other and drives it back and forth. Now we're going to limit the range, right, because we don't want to go too far and hit the valve on the piston. So it's going to make sure that we're nice and safe. Cool little kit from Comp Cams. Colin made his own marks. We're back on, so that stuff's good. We've got the solenoids taken out from the MDS system, replaced with caps. That'll get recalibrated so you won't get any engine codes. Now it's time to drop the lifters in with the trays, and cylinder heads and Valvetrain could go on next, so we're making some great progress. All right, we're in the home stretch. Colin here is bolting down the cylinder heads, torquing them up. Now one thing we did is when we put the new springs in is we checked spring height. We got the right shims in there, so those are nice and matched. So everything else is just kind of buttoning all the peripheries and getting this thing back up into the car for a couple of dyno pulls. All right, I've got the push rods laid in carefully. Bolt the rocker assemblies down nice and evenly. Everything else is, putting the pieces back on, intake, accessory drive, you name it. And to top it off, upgrading the ignition coils. Anytime you're making more horsepower, it's a great idea. Now we're going with the XR series from Fast. These are going to deliver about 15% more spark energy, and from a firing performance up to 40,000 peak volts. Now these go on pretty much exactly the same way as factory from 2006 and up, so it makes the job nice and easy. Drop them in and you're good to go. We're at 600 on the lift pretty much, and yeah, at 50 duration, 222, 230.
Yeah, stock is 540, 570, 210, 219, something like that, 220.
We've gotten rid of that MDS, so it's out.
A couple more tweaks, we can get this thing to the 490 to the tire. Super impressive.
All right, nice move on the tunes. We got another, 7, 8 out of that. We're technically at 50 over stock. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's a little bit hot. It's not optimized. It's something we put together real quick. There's definitely 10 left on the table. I think we can get it to the 60 horsepower to the wheel number. Sounds good. Still got a little bit of a lump while still maintaining good drivability.
Yeah, very streetable. So nice job from Comp to keep that streetability without sacrificing any drivability.
Right. And still know you got a camshaft in there.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. Not only we get huge power, we got great sound, extended RPM, and terrific drivability. That's a win-win in my book. Now, if you got any more questions, check out Comp Cams and their Hrt Valvetrain Assemblies, and subscribe to our magazine so you can get all the latest in automotive tech with real-world testing. We'll see you there.